Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melisa Galasso, and today we're going to talk about a proposal out of the Professional Ethics Executive Committee of the AICPA for their proposed strategic plan. The strategic plan would last from 2027 to 2030. Now, this is not the first strategic plan that we have talked about in terms of PEEC. We've also seen them from both the peer review board as well as the ASB. We don't just, when we have a lot of people who are volunteers, we need to make sure that they're staying on task and we're not overwhelming them with work, because remember, all of these committees are volunteer committees. They have real jobs. And so our goal here is to ensure that they're able to really focus on what needs to get done and address the issues that are most pressing to the profession. And since we're talking about professional ethics and independence, they wanted to make sure that we were aware. So the goal here is to really maintain this plan so that they know where to spend their time. So this was proposed in June of 2026, and the intent is to plan to be an overarching while grounded in the mission and keys to success. And so they're seeking input from stakeholders across the profession to help ensure that they have the right priorities. So remember, PEEC's mission is to promote ethical behavior by members and others subject to the AICPA Code of Professional Conduct. Even if you're not an AICPA member, if your state board includes the Code of Professional Conduct by reference or by rule, then you are also subject to the Code of Professional Conduct, which many states do, which again is in service of the public mission. And so the objective is achieved through standard setting, the different ethics interpretations that they put out, enforcement, which can come from the Ethics Enforcement Task Force, in which I serve on, as well as educational efforts. And so when we think about what's going on at PEEC, obviously technology and the use of AI is very important. We've seen a staff paper, which we're actually going to talk about in just a few blogs. We do plan our blogs in advance, and there always seems to be something to talk about. And since that one doesn't have a due date, it kind of got pushed back, but it is a very interesting staff interpretation about AI and technology-assisted procedures, particularly with respect to ethics and independence. Obviously, growing complexity with respect to regulatory and uncertainty across jurisdictions, particularly when we look at standard setting. And then just broader transformation that's happening in the business world when we're looking at globalization, offshoring, alternative staffing and practice structures, right? Alternative practice structures, PE, all of this needs to be considered. And obviously, PEEC has put out two different, one ITC and then one proposal with respect to PE. In addition, changing information needs of users of reports and expansion of assurance. So we saw on the auditing standards board side, two proposals recently with respect to what they are looking at from a sustainability reporting perspective, incorporating best practices into the subject matter of the attestation standards. Obviously, we've also seen cybersecurity and governance updates to COSO in those areas. And then stakeholder expectation around auditing, attestation, ethics, and independence and peer review, and the importance of internal infrastructure to operationalize and resilience, and including the need to modernize workflows. So when we look at their strategic initiatives, they have identified four areas. Obviously, developing high quality standards that are in the public interest, right? That's obviously one of their primary objectives. Support the effective implementation and application of standards. This is something that the Auditing Standards Board also put into their strategic plan, which I think is very important. We don't just put out interpretations, we help support them through staff documents, through practice aids, enhance stakeholder engagement and advocacy, and modernize our operating model. So this is just a little bit of an overview of what PEEC has proposed, and they want you to answer some questions. Do you agree with the mission? Do you agree with their keys to success? What are the factors that are driving strategy? Do you agree? Did they miss some? Are some of them overstated? Do you agree with the strategic initiatives and strategic actions? What topics do you believe should be at the forefront of the standard setting agenda if you were in charge? Are there other considerations that need to be incorporated? And in addition to what they believe are already their stakeholders, NASBA, the AICPA board, leadership, CPA societies, federal regulators, IASBA, which is our international bar, are there anyone else that they should engage with as part of their strategy moving forward? So if you are interested in the future of what the PEEC is working on, you have the opportunity to email ethics-exposuredraft@aicpa.org. Comments are due by August 31st. All right, so that's a wrap on this week's blog, and I look forward to seeing you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.